listening to the RM Podcast, the official podcast of Red Moon Productions. Here are your hosts, Brandon Davidson, Keith Cheatham, and Sean Sebastian. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to another episode, yes, of the Red Moon Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
Sean, Sebastian,
and Keith Cheatham. Fantastic to be back with you all this evening on another very fine Tuesday night.
Is it?
It always is.
I'm unhappy
Why?
because I have coffee, but I can't drink it
Why?
because
There's no
in this
sugar?
plain white mug.
Oh,
What is this?
Oh, you didn't hear what I told.
This is not red. No, I was in the bathroom like for a half hour.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the bathroom? I bet it looked like that coffee.
What people do in the bathroom.
I don't know if it was that Papa John's we had next door because something just hit and it wouldn't stop.
It was that stuffed crust, wasn't it?
Yeah, something.
They've been advertising it. I'm just saying, it'll get
Yeah.
you.
It got me.
It helps my heartburn.
It got me.
It's better than the regular
I don't know
crust.
how.
It's like that cheese just coats.
Cheese
Yeah.
is just cholesterol.
I know.
Make it worse. But
Yeah.
You would, but I don't know why. It
Yeah,
it
I
helps.
think you're just
Oh,
full
Sean's
of-
camera's
full of it.
I'm full of
adjusted.
something. But Keith,
I'm gonna drink this coffee and
There
probably
we
have to
go.
go again after the show.
You,
Oh,
that's what I
gosh.
was gonna say. I didn't think after what happened in there you would want that coffee.
I mean,
we
I
got
feel okay.
Kristen is watching from Texas.
From
What?
Texas.
We got a viewer from Texas.
I'm glad.
Unfortunately, she is down there for some sad news.
Yeah.
I don't want to share anybody's business
won't
on,
die. Right.
on air, but
we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, we are. Our condolences are with you, Kristen, and everything you're dealing with down there in Texas, you and your family. And we're glad you're watching. We're glad you're tuning in. Of course, every Tuesday we love to bring everybody some entertainment.
Oh yeah.
some
Say
news.
everything's bigger in one of our shows bigger.
Oh,
in
I
Texas.
bet it is now. I bet
It's
it's
Texas, so it is.
absolutely
Just automatic.
deep in the heart of Texas. I knew it was coming. I knew somebody was gonna do it.
I know that movie way too
Oh,
well.
I love that movie, man. It's such a good movie. What's it? Dottie. Dottie's his
Dottie.
girl. And his bike.
There's no basement at the Alamo.
And then that was the first time I
Oh
ever
my
heard the
God.
song, and I loved it ever since. Was the
Yes.
Oh, really?
And then
That's
yeah.
the first time you ever heard that?
That was the first
I
time I
heard
ever
it
heard
in
that.
Ninja Turtles, too.
Oh yeah.
I heard it in
I think that was the first thing.
Cheech and Chong.
The first
The
time.
first Cheech and Chong.
That was the first time you ever heard it. You didn't see Ninja Turtles 2 before Cheech and Chong?
Sorry, Dad. Throw you under the bus
Hey,
there. No,
there
I'm
ain't-
pretty
there
sure
ain't
I saw
nothing wrong with
Cheech and
that.
Chong before I saw
Cheech
Ninja
and Chong's
Turtles.
great. It's great.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I,
You
think
look-
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah, I was very young when I saw Cheech and
you
Chong.
got a little culture
Because I
in
knew
you.
you
That's
had
all it
seen
is.
both. I know Brandon hadn't seen the live action Ninja Turtle
Oh, yeah.
movies, but
No.
you
All I
should.
know is you
The
all-
originals, not
babies.
yes,
Babies. That's all.
They're
y'all-
babies. I love.
And it was quoted on Louder with Crowder the other day or
Yeah?
something.
Go Ninja,
Go Ninja, go.
Even as campy as the second one was, it was still a good movie. Like it has bad
Oh, it's
parts,
definitely
but
entertaining.
It's way better
Yes.
than the Michael Bay produced.
Oh, I
crap.
wouldn't want to watch that anyway. It's got
Yeah.
Megan
way
Fox in it.
way better.
I mean, that was after she had
Toe
Botox.
thumbs. She looked like turtle. She
Yeah,
had turtle fingers.
I was just thinking about that shit. 'Cause they have the stuff you couldn't-
Who's their mentor again?
Splinter?
Splinter. I didn't know Megan Fox played Splinter.
She played April O'Neil.
I know. I'm kidding.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
the stubs
I
are from
ruined
Turtles.
your joke.
I don't. Yeah, it was a bad
I don't
joke.
know Ninja Turtles. I shouldn't have made a joke. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
She doesn't have a tail or a
Well,
hairy
we're not
face.
entertaining
Well,
anybody.
You don't know about the hairy face. She could wax.
I bet she's got a unibrow.
So do I.
No, you don't.
It?
Do you wax it?
No, I pluck it with tweezers.
Oh gosh, does that hurt?
Well, I mean, if you shave it, it just comes back thicker. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not like
that makes
it's not like a
sense.
full on thick unibrow, but I do
No.
have hairs.
Maybe
up there,
you
yeah.
should wax it.
No.
Don't want to wax it?
No.
And get rid of it forever.
I don't have that many. Like a few. Like
he's
it's
a
not
man.
Like,
He
it's not
doesn't
like
wax.
a full like grown. It's not like I have a huge like Bert from Sesame Street. I just get some hairs there. I have to
Ain't
get
like
rid
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Oh
not
my
that
gosh.
bad.
The brow. That's his trademark now.
He fixed it,
He
though.
can't wax
Yeah, you
it.
can't get rid of that
No,
now.
he can't. Oh, Sean's drinking from that moon cup.
Yeah.
You
look
told
at
me
that.
because I was sitting closest to the camera.
That's the way it works around
promote
here.
it. Yeah, promote the moon.
It's the best I have.
MOON. That
Yeah.
spells moon.
I got to do the dishes after the show, so I'll get them clean for next week, guys. But we do have a great, entertaining show. We got two major headlines we want to cover. They go hand in hand with each other, and we've got a great relationship topic. We were just talking about it
Taco?
a little bit. I wish I had a taco. I would take that over some Papa John's pizza right now.
I'd take it over the show right now.
Oh, you want to run to
I'm-
Taco Bell? I mean, I don't care. I'd be fine.
I'm
That's
kind of eager about the show. I mean, we got some good topics. We got
yeah.
the,
We just gotta get there.
review for the movie.
another Academy
Yeah.
Award nominee
Another-
review.
we only
Best
have
Picture
after this. We
nominee.
only have one more Best Picture winner to review.
That's right.
Or not winner, nominee.
Nominee.
We don't know the winner.
Winner
yet.
of a nomination.
They did get
There
a
you go.
nomination.
But
Yeah.
we also have, so that's our review of The Father, which is coming up here in just a
Coming
sec.
up.
We've got Godzilla versus Kong
That'll be next week.
coming next week.
Mhm.
Yes, that's right. Maybe a week delayed because it comes out tomorrow. However, we are not like these people review bombing or giving any kind of early reactions because anybody who has reviewed it, I don't want to. We're not going to spoil it.
Yeah.
And that's what you know. What I like to pride ourselves on the fact that we don't have any. We talk about our screeners sometimes on this show
Yeah.
and how we get access to certain things,
Yeah.
but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're right there with the thick of the audiences, major audiences out there who only get to see it when it comes out in theaters.
Yep.
It has released overseas, trickling out here, but I like to think that when our review comes out, we've given people a chance to go see it, the ones who really want to, so then they can see our opinion after they've had their own.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, as I'm getting older, I prefer that. I prefer to view it without any kind of, even the trailers sometimes now just tell too much.
Yeah.
Would
I
you all
with
agree?
that.
I haven't seen a trailer for this, and I have not.
I don't think the trailers for this have only shown like the same 3 scenes, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy because I don't think this one will be spoiled too much. But there are movies that I think do reveal too much in the trailers. Another one that I thought was brilliantly done was the trailer for The Dark Knight because literally,
Yes.
like you
Yeah.
see everything in that trailer that's only in like the very first half of the movie.
But see, I
Yeah.
gotta give
Yeah.
credit there to just Nolan in general, because I mean his movies are always much more in depth than you could ever possibly cram into 2 minutes in a trailer. So that's credence to him and even his brother who help
I
him
feel like
write a lot.
comedies suffer a lot from trailers because
Oh,
yeah.
they put all the best
funniest
jokes.
stuff is in the freaking trailer.
I think almost every Adam Sandler movie that's released on Netflix has been.
And then you
a
watch
result
then
of
you
that.
watch the movie and it's like, oh well, nothing's funny now because all the good stuff was in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Although Hubie Halloween wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad. I like
It
Hubie
wasn't
Halloween.
too bad. I laughed.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
thermos did.
That was
get
one
me.
of his better ones in
Yeah.
recent years.
Agreed.
I mean, it had some bad parts, but
Neil says you're coming around to his way of thinking, Brandon.
I am. I am desperate. It's weird. I've noticed recently in like the last couple years, just because of like Rotten Tomatoes even and how much we've bashed it on the show, I've gotten around to the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to know. I want to know as little as possible going into the movie. And there's a lot of movies that I've walked away with a better reaction or even sometimes a worse reaction than the reviews led me on to believe. And sometimes just even knowing that score just kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
Or it at least gives you a preconceived notion going in.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
That's the only reason I like Justice League is because everybody else did. That's
jumping on the bandwagon.
it. No,
That's why
I
you
have
can
not looked at
see-
anything about Godzilla. I haven't read any of the early reactions or nothing like
Then
that.
why have you been review bombing, Sean? You've been out there
I don't
trending
even
the
have an
hashtag
IMDb account.
restore
the Snyderverse. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Sean's been at the top.
Here-
I
here's
haven't
my
even
thing.
shared it.
I'm not expecting Godzilla versus Kong to be a brilliant master. I just want to see
I hope
two.
it's better than the last one.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as I get 2 giant monsters beating the tar out of each other, that's all I care about.
But we're gonna have 3.
well,
yeah, yeah.
well,
maybe
we
more.
don't know.
Yeah,
No, we do know.
I think we know.
We
Yeah.
do know. They already
been
spoiled that
confirmed.
information.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
In the trailer.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. See, that's why I don't watch the trailers. But before we get on to review bombing and hashtag restore the Snyderverse, that's right. We've got our very own review of another Best Picture nomination. Let's get to our review of The Father.
Nominated for 6 Academy Awards, The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins, has come to on-demand streaming services this past weekend. And if you haven't had the chance to see it yet, or are trying to catch all of the Oscar nominees before the awards show in April, now is the perfect time to watch the movie. Starring Anthony Hopkins as Anthony, an elderly man who suffers from dementia being cared for by his daughter Anne, portrayed by Olivia Colman. As the film progresses, so does Anthony's mental state, with Anthony finding it harder and harder to come to terms with where he is and what's going on around him. With clever film editing and swapping actors to represent his daughters and nurses, the film cleverly and genuinely displays the mindset of someone suffering from dementia, creating a heartbreaking narrative. Directed by Florian Zeller and adapted from a play of the same name, The Father is an emotional and powerful film that shows not only how dementia affects the family members of those who suffer from it, but also the confusion, loss of memory, and disjointed state of mind afflicting those with dementia. With a powerful performance from Anthony Hopkins earning him a Best Actor nomination, Hopkins portrays a realistic character who has sharp and lucid days, along with the moments of memory loss and dementia. Coleman, playing opposite Hopkins as the loving daughter trying to give the best possible care, creates an all-too-realistic dynamic of the struggle and pain of doing her best to help as she watches her father's mind slip a little more each day. Adding in a subplot of Anthony's other daughter, Lucy, who he is reminded of by his new nurse, Laura, played by Imogen Poots, the film layers plenty of emotion on a story that revolves around loss in more ways than just loss of memory. With brilliant editing showcasing disjointed scenes that play out more than once but in different ways, creating a narrative that slowly reveals what is actually happening versus what Anthony has perceived to happen. It's easy to understand why The Father received the nominations it did. The film shines a light on a real struggle people face every day and does so with honesty and realism while offering insight into what it's like for those who struggle from the disease. The movie is both subtle and creative in how it tells its narrative. With strong performances and true human emotion, The Father tugs at the heartstrings while keeping things as simple as it can for a film that so accurately displays a fractured mind. I give The Father 3.5 out of 4 stars.
3.5 out of 4 stars.
4.5.
The Father. The Father.
That's definitely a Academy like Best Picture nominee for sure. I agree with that.
No doubt.
This has been an odd year where we've had, I think, a handful of really solid ones that I felt like truly deserved it, and then we have a bunch that are kind of like, I guess COVID happened and they have nothing better. Either it's nothing better to nominate, or they pick the ones with the most woke message to nominate.
Sure.
And this one, I was just happy to see be one that, I mean, truly is just good. And I mean, it got me. Like, I cried a few times during the movie, and I mean, Anthony Hopkins was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I felt like I haven't seen Minari or Stephen Ewan yet, but out of the best actor, like the best actor category this year is loaded full of everybody but Gary Oldman. And not that Gary Oldman was bad, but Anthony Hopkins, Riz Ahmed, and Chadwick Boseman. I just felt like all three of them so far, like
nailed
really,
it.
They really deserve it.
They deserve
and it's
their
like
nom.
Gary Oldman's like, eh. So, and like I said, I don't know about Stephen Ewan yet. We're going to review that, but I mean, if he's as good as
it's
Dill,
coming.
it's like it's a packed category.
It's After
this year.
God v. Kong.
Yeah,
God v. Kong.
God v. Kong. Okay. Well,
GVK.
Just in time for Easter.
But yeah, this my grandfather, my parents, he lives with my parents, as Anthony Hopkins lives with his daughter. And I mean, he has dementia and moments that aren't lucid, and there's just a lot of similarities and the realism they captured. Mm-hmm. And even I think this has become my pick for best film editing because it's nominated for that. Because just the way they edited the film to kind of give you an idea of like how he perceives the world.
I thought I
with
had dementia.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yes.
From watching it, I was like,
so good.
what is going on?
It was so good. So well done. Yeah.
That was actually one of the parts of the movie that I liked the most, which, this goes back to my problem with so many other films that I've seen with a serious subject matter that just don't pull it off in a unique way. Mm-hmm. And this is one where uniquely the story of the main character, it ties in hand with how it's told. Yeah. And that's what made it a standout picture. I don't know if it's best picture for me. I'm still sticking with Sound of Metal. Yeah. And I'm even sticking with Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal.
Yes.
For best
I
actor.
agree with that.
But overall, no doubt, Anthony Hopkins, he proves why he's still an amazing actor and that he's still got his acting chops. I mean, and trust me, we've seen him in some roles probably in the last few that are not of anything of a standout.
When you're in one movie like that getting a paycheck, it's like I don't have to work.
True.
He's
Hey,
like, I
when
don't
your
have
name is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
He's a knight. That's right.
Exactly. It was the last.
He's
night.
like, I don't
Yeah.
have to work in this movie.
yeah, dad
It was
joke.
the last night. Yeah.
But no, I absolutely adored his performance, and it on multiple occasions. Well, two. I will say two. Had me tearing up.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, look.
The end got me hard.
Oh,
there were
yes.
multiple
man.
moments,
Yeah.
but his breakdown at the end, I was bawling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's definitely a tearjerker.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it yet,
Sean.
I was waiting for him to finish.
that was it.
I believe that I would prefer Riz Ahmed just because he doesn't already have a slew of Academy Awards. Anthony Hopkins has
Well, he
been
has
there.
one,
He
but-
has one,
but still, he has one.
still,
Yeah.
he's been there multiple times,
Yes.
nominations. So I kind of feel like let's let the guy, but at the same time,
But Chadwick Boseman will never be able to get one again.
I know. I
well,
know.
and we.
But
I
I mean,
really- they're
between
like
the three of them,
best-
I feel like he is third between the three of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely loved his Anthony Hopkins' performance in this movie. It got me more than 2 times throughout the film. In fact, it broke my heart several
yes.
times.
Yeah.
And you know how this was a daughter-father story. You know how I am about father-son stories, but it felt like, man, I haven't really experienced dementia in my family.
Same.
I've seen a lot of other illnesses, and I've seen a spiraling down in different ways of the elderly in my family, and it is heartbreaking. And this movie just like kind of brought some of those same feelings back, not because of them experiencing the same ailment, but just because of seeing the sadness. And I mean, I really enjoyed the editing. It's funny because thinking about it, I didn't even think about that being a part of the editing, but I can understand your point of wanting this for film editing also. But the way they told the story, like I said, I was joking when I said it made me feel like I had dementia, but I mean, it really did confuse me
yes.
multiple times because I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. And I mean, even towards the beginning of the film, my wife was watching some of it with me, and we were both kind of like, are these people like, have they waited for his daughter to leave and now they're taking advantage of him and
Right.
sneaking into his house and taking advantage that he doesn't know
Right,
who
right.
they are? I mean, I really was
didn't know what
thinking that
story
for a
they were
minute. I
setting
didn't.
up.
I didn't because I didn't know anything about the movie before I started watching it.
And I loved the cues they give throughout the movie, like just like with the chicken. It's like because that's how you piece
Yes.
it together. Like they
Yeah.
never full on give you the answer, but they give you enough that you can piece it together because they'll mention the same like moment from a scene, and you realize, oh, all 3 of these scenes are the exact same moment, but he's just not remembering them
Right.
correctly.
Right.
And
Right.
It's like and it was really really well done.
No doubt. I mean that's the one thing too was it really kind of you didn't know what story it was going to tell.
Yeah.
And even by the end of it, once you know the full picture, it just makes it all that much more heartbreaking. And also we haven't really brought up, but Olivia Williams character or Olivia
Yeah.
Coleman.
Yeah.
Coleman's nominated. Yeah.
I was
I
gonna say,
thought
get
that was
them
brilliant too, though, because
yeah.
I get them confused all the time. So to have them both in there and swapping out characters, I was like,
Do you think that was intentional?
I don't. I mean, they look a lot alike, and I get them confused all the time. So I'm kind of like whoever the casting director was just they were being a smart
Well,
ass.
like we said, and his name was Anthony,
yeah.
even though it's
Yep.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yep.
But
I don't know if that's because if you look everywhere, it's spelled Anthony. So I don't know if that's just how like the English accent
Maybe.
pronounces it as Anthony.
I don't know.
No, I think it's just dependent on the person.
Yeah, that's true,
I
too.
think, but I will say I completely thought her performance, and I've seen her in other things like The Crown.
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, she's a good actress.
she's just fantastic.
I mean,
and
Olivia
phenomenal.
Williams is a good actress.
Yeah,
too,
no,
but she just
absolutely.
didn't have as much of a role.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, even the girl with the poor name.
Imogen Poots.
Yeah.
We've
She
seen her
was-
in other
yeah,
things.
she was
She was
very
good.
good.
I mean, like I said, I was saying before the show that I had seen her in Vivarium with Jesse Eisenberg, and that was a great performance on both of their parts in a very disturbing kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the first films that I ever saw her in was 28 Days
Later.
Turn
yes.
28 weeks later.
28 weeks
the
later.
second one, yeah.
And she was really good in
And
that.
she
too,
was
actually.
good, even as a very young actress. She was very good. But yeah, her
Honestly.
facial expressions made me uneasy because
Yeah.
of how he was making her feel.
yeah,
Like there were moments where he
Yes.
was so you really thought he was being nice, but then he just
when he
completely obliterates her.
Oh, yeah.
with one
and
turn.
but I love
true,
those
too, 'cause
moments
my
too,
grandfather will do
because-
the same thing because that's just they don't mean to, but they,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
with dementia,
Well,
they do,
but I
yeah.
also like that kind of twist in the sense that he was upset with his circumstance and what was going on and what he felt like his daughter was pressing upon him.
Mm-hmm.
And so you definitely saw there were still moments of lucidness.
Mm-hmm.
And there were moments where when he was lucid and he was on his A game, he wasn't using it to, win people over as much as he was saying, I'm on to you,
Yep.
and I know what you're trying to do.
He keeps telling him, I'm a very intelligent person.
Yes.
You don't think I am, but I'm much more
And-
and he
and-
tells her, like,
and it made you
she's not very
feel-
intelligent.
Yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, gosh.
And it makes you just feel that much more for him and his character and what he's going through. And it's very hard, I think, like you were describing, Sean, about how, if you don't have a firsthand reaction with someone who has suffered from dementia or Alzheimer's, you have a situation in this movie where it's done so well that it encapsulates that emotion of some people who've definitely experienced it. And one thing I liked about it was it's based off a play.
Yeah.
And it makes me interested in knowing how the play, messed with that dichotomy of what goes on with the characters in the movie, and if that happens in the play version, and how they pull
probably
that off.
does. You just have a different actor come on stage, instead
Right,
of, yeah,
but
the
how they
previous one.
do it creatively like they do in the movie. I loved how they the environment was changing, the people would change.
The set of the flat was changing.
right.
The kitchen changed, the furniture changed, and all of that. And I see what you're saying.
I
How
love
would they
that.
do that on stage?
You just
Like that would be.
the lights go down. You remove a few things.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't think it's. But I think they probably think of a more creative.
Oh,
way
I'm sure
to
they do.
make it more.
I'm sure they
ingenious
do
on
as
stage.
well.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like the film, it didn't change before your eyes. It changed
I know.
between
But
cuts.
it's
and scenes,
again,
so,
we
yeah.
see movie magic, and it's easy to change those things. But
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
see it live on stage,
Oh yeah, it's.
I think
I'm
it
not
makes it even
disagreeing. I'm
more
just saying that
beautiful.
I know I'm sure they pull it off.
I would just like to
because
see.
I've seen enough.
I've never seen
plays.
the play, and I don't know if it's still in circulation. I'm sure they probably
I'm
do
sure
it
they
in
do
smaller,
occasionally, yeah.
rounds. But it's just, it was a phenomenal film. Absolutely, I think worthy. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture.
No.
I would even. It pulled at the right heartstrings, and I think it deals with such a topic of, something that a lot of people do deal with, that it is worthy of a nomination. But it definitely would not sit up the top with me as far as something that's so memorable.
I don't think. I mean, it was nominated for 6 awards, and I don't know that it's really going to win much because there's others nominated that I think deserve it more, like Sound of Metal and Riz Ahmed. But I mean, for me, I do think it's my pick for editing because I had to have to look at the nominees again for that, but I didn't see any in there that I remember that I thought, oh yeah, that was much better than this. But yeah, I don't see it winning a lot, but it definitely deserves the nominees.
No doubt. No doubt. Absolutely. So 3.5 for The Father.
Faja.
The Faja. Don't talk about my Faja.
Hello, Faja. Hello, Masha.
Hello,
I
Faja.
have to watch those movies over again.
Well, I will say we got a lot to get on to.
Get
in our
on
headlines. So let's roll that big, beautiful footage of the headline open. Edie just wanted to join in there.
Yeah,
That was all.
She hopped up. She's like, "What you doing?"
She's like, "Hi, how you doing up there? What y'all up to? Y'all doing a show?" Now she's trying to bite Sean's hand.
Yeah. She's gonna
Come here,
molly.
Edie.
Interesting
Come here, pup.
question. Interesting question from Neil.
Oh, okay, go
so
ahead.
why 3.5 instead of 4?
That is a good
I
question.
don't
Well,
want to
that's-
get back too
that's-
much on the movie, but
That's the same.
Keith, you
what was
officially
the-
reviewed
the
it.
same reason it's not winning all the awards it's nominated for. It's not a perfect movie,
Right.
but it
Well,
was
what-
a damn
but how
good
it-
one.
what's
how's
the
it
one? What's the
flawless?
half
Or
star?
not flawless.
I mean, I can't right off the top of my head. They're just, I'm just saying, they're all arbitrary.
I'll tell you
okay?
what I didn't like about it. It did not have a diverse cast at all.
Yeah.
There was no people of color at all in the
I know.
cast.
It just goes to show you British people are racist.
I hate it.
Absolutely.
That just actually it's 3 stars for me now.
4-star. I rarely give movies 4-star. Like it could be almost near perfect. It'll be 4-star is something that just cements
I
itself.
don't even
to
think we
me
gave
as-
Sound of Metal 4.
No, I didn't.
And yes,
And-
that's our best.
And that's my for
So
me
this,
a 4-star
this was not
movie
a timeless
is
classic.
something that
No.
cements itself. So like Forrest Gump or
love-
Saving Private Ryan, something that you
Everybody
want
goes to
to
Forrest Gump.
return back to
I
over
don't
and
know.
over
It's
and
weird.
Oh, yeah,
over.
definitely.
Why is that the truth? Like we always pull out Forrest
Because
Gump.
it's such an
It's just-
amazing movie.
It
It's
is.
like the one
Okay,
across
or
the
Return
board.
of the King.
Or Return of the King.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like something that like no matter
When you say
at
what's
any
an
time,
unforgettable movie, that's
Yes,
one of the
yes.
first things that pops in my head.
See,
See,
Something just
okay,
so
but
classic and
would we
iconic.
say that is like our criteria for a 4-star rating? Is it just unforgettable?
Almost, yeah.
I agree with that.
I'm trying to
I
remember.
I think
of
there's
what I've
other
given-
films that I've given 4 stars, but I mean, in recent years, I mean, honestly, the 4-star movies that I've given 4 stars, I watch countless times.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, freaking La La Land and Greatest Showman are 2 of my favorite movies ever. I will watch those anytime
Yes.
they're on. Like,
Well, I
I
didn't
don't
give
care.
Greatest Showman 4 stars, but
I
I still
did.
love it.
I did though, and that's what matters is I did. But no, I think
truth.
to me that's a movie that 50 years from now
Yes,
people
and
will
it's
still be watching.
Just
that.
not perfect relative to other movies this year. No, I mean relative to every movie that ever exists. Neil, that's how I rate.
Well, I mean,
stars.
the weird thing is like, but that is true. Like
Yeah.
to every movie I've seen,
yeah.
it's like it's weird how
That's
that.
why I didn't give it 4. It's like I've seen because I think about
but
all the movies
is that
I've
also
seen.
is that also suggesting that our rating scale?
Because you
is
you
like,
didn't give Sound of Metal 4.
no?
No.
I gave it
no.
3.5, I
Yeah.
believe.
But it's like, is that suggesting that our rating scale it has gradations it obviously has gradations, but it changes, that it evolves over time the more movies
Yeah,
you
probably.
see.
But I feel like that's with any critic is the more you see and view and the more you consume and have an idea of things in the past. I mean, even Ebert has even gone back to old movies he's rated and be like, oh, I was too harsh on that or I wasn't harsh enough. I think over
I've
time...
definitely seen movies that we weren't harsh enough on.
Yeah.
Finding Dory.
Just like with everything,
saying.
Nah,
your taste changes over time.
True.
It's got to be the same way with
Yeah.
films too. I mean, what you find entertaining is going to be different.
It's weird, but I
Sean
feel like
likes Jupiter Ascending now.
I know. What was it like 5 or 6 years ago? I hated that movie. That movie's
true.
amazing. No, I'm just kidding.
But I will say,
One day Brandon's going to wake up and
He's-
he's going
no.
to love
No,
Arrival.
I won't. I refuse it.
I knew you were going to go there. One day he'll wake up and get it.
He'll be like, that's what that meant.
I'll just wake up out of my bed. That's a freaking great movie. No, forbid it. I will never think that's a good movie.
One day he'll wake up
2
and
stars.
think JC's a great director.
That's going to happen. One day, he's going to wake up and be like, Avatar deserves highest grossing film of all time.
You know, I'm trying to refrain from cussing. Just saying.
When he
trying.
goes into space and films a movie on Mars, then you'll respect
You
him.
know what?
That's filmmaking.
You know
right
what
there.
deserved 4 stars, and we didn't give it 4 stars.
Tell me.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean,
It
that's
did
why.
not deserve 4 stars.
I mean, that's why it's getting
You're
all
making
the
fun of
praise.
me now.
Restore the Snyderverse.
No, I'm making fun of all the people who were saying restore the Snyderverse.
Or that are saying review bomb Godzilla versus
Exactly.
Kong.
That's
And here-
too far.
That is too far.
Toxic fandom is not allowed.
Well, here's the thing. We can go one of 2 ways here. Do we want to talk about review bombing or restore the Snyderverse first?
Well, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand
A little
because
bit, yeah.
I know they both
Okay,
deal
so
around the same topic.
let's kind of explain the review bombing and then get into restore
Okay.
because that's why they're doing it. Snyder fans who want him to be allowed to make his sequels to Justice League 2 and 3, are now going to review bomb Godzilla versus Kong, and presumably other Warner Brother franchise films until Warner Brothers greenlights the sequels to Zack Snyder's movies. Why? Because apparently if they can't have the franchise they want, no one else can have a franchise either.
Well, this is the equivalent of burning buildings and businesses in protest because you don't get what you want.
Or honestly, I think even book burning. When it comes to it not saying a message you want or getting rid
It's
of,
like I can't
certain
have my way,
context.
so I'm going to throw
true.
a fit and make sure no
Well,
one else gets anything either.
Exactly. That's the
Yeah.
kind of culture it breeds, and I think that's where it comes from. Is it's literally a juvenile
It's
behavior.
the mob mentality.
Yes, we're going to bash you over the head with this until you make it true or you make it possible.
It's like we're not going to leave you alone until you give it. Well, and really, yeah, that's
A nose
kind of
hair
like
problem over here.
Oh, you do?
Sorry about that.
Get it out.
I was trying to.
Did
It's
you already
like,
pick it?
I can't find it.
I got some nose trimmers back
itching
there.
me.
We've never done that on the show. Do you want them?
No, I
I haven't cleaned them in
I
about
have
4
been
years.
considering doing the the Q-tip things.
Oh, what's that?
What is that?
It's like wax on the end of a Q-tip, and you put it in there, and then you...
I don't know. Oh no.
What?
Yeah.
I've pulled a nose hair
What?
before, and it's the worst pain. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I can't even pull one without sneezing.
That's what I'm saying.
How do
I've
you
taken
do
a tweezer and
wax?
pulled one before.
I'll do
and
it on the show.
I hate it.
Will you?
I'll do it on the show.
Hey,
we
we've
go.
done
Let's
hot
do
nut
it.
challenges.
That's
and
right.
Death,
I'll do it on the show.
Death nut and
We still
freaking
need to do the
pepper
packy
challenges.
chip, the
That's
chip
true.
challenge.
That's
we have
true.
those chips. They're probably stale as crap
That's true.
now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get us off topic. It's just really bothering me, and I know I keep going like that in the camera, and I'm not.
We got to keep doing
You know what
stuff
bothers
like that
me?
so people
not
won't
off camera.
review
Toxic,
bomb.
toxic fans
Yeah,
bother me.
I have no problem with people tweeting out things that they want to have. That's
Restore
fine.
the
You can
Snyderverse, yeah.
tweet out hashtag whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But when it comes to review bombing or discrediting someone else's art just because I don't know if you can call Godzilla art.
It's a movie.
You can.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
The original, at least.
I don't agree with that. I think that
It may
that's
be
when we
trashy
go
art.
a little bit too far.
The Roland Emmerich Godzilla is the one that's not art. That one's not art.
I forgot
Was that
about
Was
that
Matthew
being-
Broderick?
2000? Yeah.
Yeah.
1998 or 99.
No,
I
it was
think.
99.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
like that one.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody
That one's
does.
not art.
That was
No.
like
Fart.
like that was like Dragon
It had
Godzilla.
all the
That
like
was
the
weird.
rap
Stupid
music
movie.
and stuff going on.
Yes,
in
it was
Oh,
P
wow.
Diddy.
Deeper
That's-
underground. I was just like, what
P
is this?
Diddy
This is
and
not
Maroon
Godzilla.
5.
Yeah,
I had the soundtrack.
I did too. I owned
Maroon
it.
5
Yep.
was on there.
Yep, they sure were. Yeah,
Yes.
I had the album too. It was an
What's-
awesome soundtrack.
Oh, it had
Just
a great
Just not for
soundtrack.
that movie.
What
Yeah.
what Maroon 5 song was on there?
They wrote. They had like songs written originally for the movie.
We'll Google it
Have to
later.
Google it.
yeah,
Apple Music
I
that.
wonder if it was an original for the film or it was like the
There's some
was it?
single that wasn't
She
popular.
will be loved.
No,
And it's
No.
like so it Godzilla.
it was actually a good song.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take
and then
your all's word for
P
it.
Diddy had that the song that was a knockoff of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun,
Yes.
dun-dun-dun,
Yes.
dun-dun-dun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I forgot that. Is that the Immigrant song? That's
Neil,
not the Immigrant
Neil
song.
should know what song that is. He's a Led
Neil, what
Zeppelin
song is that?
He's our human Shazam tonight. But no, I agree. I think, look, people should be able to say whatever. I mean, that's really the other question we have here. Okay, so the review bombing went on to IMDb. And, of course, the movie's not released in the States yet. It
Nope.
did release well over in China. It's already doing well.
Of course.
There's been mixed reviews. Again, I don't want to give any spoilers as to what those reviews lean which way. But I will say that IMDb went on there and they removed any review that had the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse in it
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of it.
Yeah.
There's still some reviews that are on IMDb that give it like 1 star.
Yeah.
And
They
it's
were all
like-
1-star reviews.
But they do
and
have.
we
bombs.
don't. And the ones that are left on there 1 star, we don't know if they're
We
legitimate
don't.
or not. They could still be.
They
review
just don't
bombs.
have Restore
Yeah.
the Snyderverse
Right.
attached, so they didn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
But it is a question of, okay, I think we're all in agreement that it's pretty petty and pretty stupid for
Yes.
anybody to go and review bomb a movie. We've talked about it on the show before.
That has
Even when it
nothing
happened,
to
we
do with
joked around about
DC.
Captain Marvel when it came out.
Yeah.
Because it was getting review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes, which is what caused Rotten Tomatoes to do an entire review of how their review process works
Right.
and releasing user scores. And they changed all of that to where you can't release a user score now until the day of release in the US. But we kind of joked around with Captain Marvel because of the politicking that was going on behind the film.
Yes.
And we kind of applauded the review bombing. But we more so didn't applaud it in the sense that we were okay with it as much as it was the right of people to do it. And so I think in this case, that's the next question that we have to ask is, okay, we think across the board it's a bad thing. But should people be able to review bomb on these sites? Should sites allow it or should they block it?
Well, I mean,
I'm throwing it out there to you guys.
it's not like it's like okay, if you want to review bomb something on Facebook, that's a social platform. If you want to say, "Oh, this is a terrible movie," like the movie talk that we're a part of,
Right.
It's like they can post 1 star, 4 star, whatever reviews they want on there all
Well,
day
and they're
long.
just trying to
that's
to get
fine.
as many people as they can not to go
Um,
see it.
Yeah.
That's the next wave.
And that's fine. I'm
of
okay with
people.
that
Yeah.
because if you listen to them, that's your prerogative. If you don't, that's fine. It's a little different on like
We
Rotten
would never
Tomatoes,
advise that.
IMDb, where you're trying to get a serious score. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you have freedom of speech and that should be allowed. But at the same time, the whole purpose of that website is to try to give an honest review of people's ideas about this movie. So it's kind of like, I understand why they would want to be a little bit more protective and be like, okay, we're not just going to allow like these phony reviews because it's not beneficial to anybody other than the people making the phony reviews.
I mean, I would agree, but here's the thing. I feel like we have enough technology in this day and age where it's like, okay, look, I think it's up to the site, whoever controls the site. I think IMDb obviously is just like I've given permission, it's not like I have control. I think it's okay for Facebook to ban certain things because they don't agree with it. But we've talked about this before. At what point does it become censorship? And that's like, yeah, if you intentionally know that a lot of people are using this hashtag to review bomb a movie, to give it poor scores, it's like, for one, if you completely get rid of that, are you erasing the fact that, for one, this thing even happened, that really we're just going to revert back to, okay, there's a bunch of articles telling us that this did happen, and there's a million tweets over here saying restore the Snyderverse, so that's the only reference we have of it actually being a thing.
Yeah.
So to me, it's kind of one of those situations of, can't they create a way in which you decipher, here's all the people who we think are review bombing it, but ultimately it's like, it's up to you to go see it. Because to me, that's
I think it's up to the person anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, common sense would tell you that it's like, okay, I'm not stupid enough to think, oh, I'm going to listen to these people unless you're jumping on the bandwagon and you just wholly agree with.
I mean, what I don't understand is even how, if the film isn't out in the United States, then any IP address from the United States that's trying to upload a review shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't even let you upload it. You're uploading it from somewhere there's no possible way you've seen it unless you just came from China.
Well,
But then you'd have to have a VPN from China. And if I'm kind of like, okay, if you're that crafty and you're going to go to that much trouble just to write a bad review, then more power to you. Go ahead. But the vast majority of them, they could ban it by just blocking those IP addresses.
That's how Rotten Tomatoes does. Like, if you don't have you can't unless you've actually been released in that country that day. So Rotten Tomatoes does make sure
that cuts out the vast majority of these review bombs. But I mean, at the same time, I'm a big freedom of speech person. If it's an open forum and it's open for people to post a review, they can say whatever the hell they want about the movie. But I feel like there should be some proof that they've seen it. And if there's no proof, or if it's not even released there, then yes, you should be able to ban it.
But I think the false argument here is that these sites are getting rid of the reviews because they see it as people are going to believe this. And I'm like, well, you're not giving validity to the people who are review bombing, because again, anybody, I'm just like with we trashed Zack Snyder's Justice League. Well, two of us did. and I don't even hate the movie. No, we trashed the original Justice League.
Justice League.
The Justice League.
Yeah, we did trash the Justice League.
But it's funny because I'm like, okay, we trashed that one, and a lot of people did, which brought about the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, while we were even okay, we joked months and months of what it was going to be like. We were like, oh, Zack Snyder's on board finally. I just have this thought in my head. I'm like, why can't we just let people say what they want? If they get away with it, why? I mean, who's literally online reading reviews expecting to not have bad reviews for this movie? It's like, you're going to be able to tell which ones are fake and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is they could come up with an algorithm where they could say, okay, we're going to not remove these reviews, but we're just not going to weight them. These reviews are intentionally to where they review bomb it, they make it seem bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep them on here, but they don't have any score or weight to the overall score.
Maybe they could
of the average.
Find a way to judge the credibility of the reviews. Because I mean, if you read the first couple of sentences of one of these reviews, it's obvious they haven't seen the movie.
But Rotten Tomatoes, they were going to try to do that with you having to take a picture of your stub.
Yeah.
And we like, that was too far, because it's like, oh, now we can't even add a review of it. The whole point of a critical score and a user score is that you're depending on, okay, who do you believe here?
Yeah.
And we've talked about how indifferent
that's a
all
whole
of those
other
opinions
point
can be.
Is honestly, it's like, I'm not saying that studios don't take into account user reviews and how fans feel about movies, obviously, but they also look at, normally when theaters are open, it's like, okay, if this movie has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it made $1 billion, we're still making a sequel because it's like Transformers. It's like, it doesn't matter that it's got crap ratings, it keeps making money. So the funny thing is like, how much effect do you think Warner Brothers is? How much do you think Warner Brothers is really going to be affected by bad reviews if the movie's being successful?
You know what? I think that's
It's
a
like,
perfect segue.
I don't think Warner Brothers is going to
into
look at
restore
this.
the Snyderverse.
Yeah, they're not going to look at a 30% score while the movie's doing really well and be like, yeah, we're not going to make a sequel.
We
because,
believe that. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But does that lead them now to releasing the rest of the Snyderverse?
I still. I'm not saying it, I'll never say never again after Snyder.
Snyder
right,
Cut. I know.
exactly.
But at the same time, I mean, they're pretty adamant right now that they don't want to. But that's also why a lot of fans are petitioning AT&T.
I mean,
and
a
Time
million
Warner.
tweets.
They're trying to go up
Million
above it.
tweets. Yep.
I mean, I could see it as an HBO Max release. It just depends because
That's all I'm asking for.
I could see them maybe going, you know what?
Well,
We'll
we
give them what
talked
they
about
want
how
on HBO
it might
Max.
financially be bad for
Damn.
WB. She's always rowdy.
She
scratching.
wants it.
Come here, pup.
Yeah.
Quit interrupting the show. She wants to be the star. But it's like we've seen how, for instance, Zack Snyder's Justice League, we thought, we don't know, there's no proof, but we're hypothesizing that this would not be good in theaters. A 4-hour cut of an IMAX film.
That'd be hard to watch.
It'd be in 4:3,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
alone. But look,
Well, no,
I don't know.
because
on
on
an
an
IMAX
IMAX screen,
it'd look
beautiful.
pretty spectacular.
Well,
but-
here, okay. I'm sorry. In a regular viewed theater, I guess
It's
you
not
know.
meant to be seen. It's meant to be seen in IMAX.
IMAX.
But here,
only.
but let's
Of
look.
course, that's even less money. They
At
could
the
take,
end of the
yeah.
day,
That's true.
They could sit there and ratchet up the views on HBO Max. But that was our conversation last week: is how do you determine the success of a film on streaming? And HBO Max may say, yeah, tons of people are tuning in.
Well-
It could be, instead of review bombing, it's now heightening the views of Justice League, but really it's the same people just streaming it constantly to
Could
give
be.
false indicators. If
Just put it on repeat while I'm at work.
Don't
Well,
you?
no, yeah,
Don't you
I think there's
that
algorithms
has a
that can
little
do
bit
that.
to do with the fact that they're going to be showing it in charity screenings? You know,
Yeah.
that's if those screenings are pretty popular and they're
I have
packed
no
houses.
doubt in my mind, if WB is a real business, then they're going to listen to the fans.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to listen to people who they think are going to pay to
if
see
they
their
pack
movie.
those theaters,
Money
it'll
talks,
be in
and
theaters.
if they keep seeing there's a potential for dollar signs, then yeah, Warner Brothers is going to be like, okay, maybe
right.
there might be a way to do this.
And at the end of the day, I can't blame them for that. All I can do is blame, I'll stand in line with Scorsese there picketing another popcorn flick. Okay? I mean, I'll be on his side with that regard because I just
I'll
don't
still
like
go-
the Snyder Cut
I'll
stuff.
still go see that.
You know you will.
We all will. hey, now that's why I love having the podcast is I can say I have to go see it.
yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
your job.
For me, it's kind of like a train wreck. It's like I can't help it. Like it's like
You
because
gotta watch.
How bad is it going to be?
Well, because there are parts of it that I do like, so it's kind of like, man, I want to see the stuff I will like, and then I can still make
You know
fun of the
what's
stuff
funny
I don't
about
like.
that?
Yeah,
I went and visited my dad before I came over here.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, I was like, have you been watching any new movies since you're, basically on house arrest after your surgery and everything? And he said, I'll tell you what, I watched the stupidest movie I've ever seen on your Plex the other night. It was that new Nicolas Cage movie with the
Willy's
dolls.
Wonderland?
And I said, yeah, that movie was pretty stupid. He goes, why did they even make that movie? He doesn't even speak in that movie.
That's one of the
But he
best
goes,
parts about it.
so I'm laughing about it and everything. He goes, it's one of those things where it was just so stupid I couldn't stop watching.
you go.
it. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
It's like, yes, it's bad, but you have to watch it.
Sometimes
I
it's
gotta
fun
watch
to,
it.
Sometimes it's still fun to watch.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to argue that. I mean, that's why I'll watch the next Avatar. But it's a situation where
I'm going back because I'm bringing Stephen Lang back. It's like they
Oh,
killed
hell
the
yeah.
guy and he's coming back, so I got to
Pandora.
see it.
why? He's not even a central character.
Underwater.
He's the villain.
Why?
They could apparently James Cameron couldn't come up with the better villain.
If he
had to
comes
bring him
back
back.
as a Navi,
He's already. Oh, I don't know.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That'd be
no.
amazing.
I hope
no.
He's
not.
going to be underwater.
They killed Sigourney Weaver and she's coming back.
Yeah.
It's like every character's coming back.
No,
so
wait. They made Sigourney Weaver a
They-
Navi at the end.
No.
She
No,
was
she
one with
died.
They
She
couldn't
fully
they,
died.
They couldn't transfer. They tried and it didn't work, and she died. So
That's
now,
right, because it was
But they're
like,
going to try this time, and it's going to work.
Yeah, I must say they're like, oh, it just took some time, but it finally worked. I'm sure they'll have some.
I don't
bull-
The
care.
mother tree is going to bring her back, or whatever.
The
it
one
was
that
called.
they tried to plow over in the.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Stephen Lang. Man.
I'm gonna go home and watch
He's like,
Avatar
those
now.
jellyfish will chew you up and spit you out.
He's my favorite part of that movie. I'm gonna go home and watch it now.
I want to see a Zack Snyder, James Cameron like mix over.
Oh,
that'd be
I want to
amazing.
see that.
Oh my
I wonder
God.
what they would
Amazing.
come up with. What concoction would they create? If you could see like Avatar in Zack Snyder's
Think
vision,
of like but
It would just be Avatar in slow motion.
That's
That's all it would be.
the hubris and ego between them two would be so
Oh,
amazing.
they'd kill each other, and you'd be happy.
it's like it did take 48 hours for each clip of this movie. Now it takes 72 hours to render
It's like that
in slow motion.
That joke going around about Peter Jackson's 8-day version of Lord of the Rings. That if James Cameron and Zack Snyder got together, we'd have like a month-long film.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Wow.
he would. He'd go for record breaking, like world
Be like
record
that
breaking.
French film where it's just 27 hours of two men
first
staring
of
at each
its
other on
kind.
the beach.
Alrighty, guys, we'll restore the universe. The Snyderverse.
Restore the universe.
Please, God, restore it before he makes his own.
Somebody restore the
Please.
universe. We've been in mass chaos
See,
for a while.
I deleted my Twitter, and I would not retweet that under Red Moon. I would
heck-
not do that.
Oh,
So
you
I have
better
no
not.
way of really
You
sharing
better-
that.
Thank
So,
oh,
but otherwise I would.
I would know
okay,
who shared
we're
it.
talking about toxic fandom and the Snyderverse. Well, now you see that David Ayer's jumping on board and wants his
The
cut,
Ayer
of,
cut.
Of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because he
Yes.
mentioned it before. I mean, he's
Well,
mentioned
everybody
it several
saw the
times.
trailer of the Suicide Squad, and it's just like, here we go.
Yeah,
This one looks amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say we definitely
was-
don't need.
That's what he
his
said, though.
Suicide
He
Squad
said he
now.
doesn't want
We
it-
got James Gunn.
He said he wouldn't want it released right now because he doesn't want to take away from
Oh,
from
God.
James Gunn's thunder in that movie.
Right.
But he said after that version comes out, he would like to be able to release his cut because Warner Brothers butchered
But-
his film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen,
you know when
you didn't get replaced by another
You know
director.
when you get a new phone and you're just like, everything about technology is just great, and you just love it, and you're just, and then one day it just doesn't work the
Yeah.
way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And all of the things you have in your life, technology doesn't work. The internet is sometimes an ugly place,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm sick and tired of
Yeah.
these fans clamoring to get what they want.
But you know,
Because I just,
I kind of want to see the Ayer
if the
cut.
internet didn't
It
exist,
has more Jared Leto Joker in it.
these fans would be outside of the theaters holding up signs saying, this is a crappy movie. This
No,
is a
they-
crappy
they
movie.
would be-
They'd
they
be
would
doing
be
the same thing.
mostly peaceful protests outside of AMC theaters.
Right.
Which means they would look even worse than they do now because they'd be burning. So it's like, no, I'm sorry. I just don't see I don't see how this is going to be any good for the art. I don't. And I'm just oh gosh, I'm trying to have hope. I don't want Restore
I'm all
the
for it.
Snyderverse.
Minus the dog in someone else's film. It doesn't even have anything to do with, like you said, it doesn't have anything to do with DC. It's like, why are you bashing Godzilla
Yeah.
when he has nothing to
agreed.
do with Jack or
Like,
Jack?
But Jack Nicholson?
Justice
Jack Kirby.
Zach,
He is,
Zack Snyder's Justice
Jack
League.
Snyder.
Yeah.
It's like, go out and protest Warner Brothers for butchering his film.
Well, they
for
are.
I mean,
That's how they're doing it.
yeah, but that's not.
I know.
That's taking money out of the people who made Godzilla.
Which is
Warner
Which is
Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers produced
That's
it.
what
They
they're-
didn't- I mean,
But
they're not the hands that made it.
I 100% agree. But I think this is the sad part of the world we live in. And I think that's what I mean by I can't take this kind of culture anymore, is because it's like, look,
Everybody
fine.
has to bleed.
Well,
Everybody.
no-
They just say
Oh, that sounds like a line from a Justice League
That's,
It
movie.
does.
that's
Sounds-
where I was going
yeah,
with it.
I was
It's
waiting
just
for
like
Batman
they
to be
gotta,
Sounds like
everybody
Snyder.
has to
they want to
bleed.
make everybody bleed. You know.
bleed to me.
Do you bleed? Yeah, do you bleed?
Oh,
Everybody bleeds.
Oh God.
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna
I
go
just
home and watch the Justice League now.
No,
too,
I'm not.
Just to see Henry Cavill. Do you bleed?
But
with that
really-
horrible CGI lip.
Yeah.
it's sad
Yeah.
because this is the problem when we just give in to the demands of the public. And I think when you encourage this mentality, the mob mentality, it's not going to stop. And I gotta hand it to the cojones that I forget her name, Chernoff, or I forget her name, the woman who's
Warner-
heading up DCEU.
Yeah.
And it's like the woman who's in charge of it at
Yeah.
Warner Brothers. She's come out and said, even with the million tweets, she's like, look, we are continuing on course. We have no plans.
Apparently they have
no
Yeah,
plans
apparently
to
they
bring
have
back.
a plan for the DCEU now, even though we still can't figure it out. Apparently they have a plan, and she said they're sticking to their current plan. They're not bringing back the Snyderverse. So
Well, and
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see because like we said, money talks, and
It would be just like them to say that just to entice and
Yes.
get the
Yep.
fuel on the fire. Just like we thought AMC was throwing all the dread and gloom about them going out of business just so that people would invest and throw money at them.
You're right.
And I feel like I can see this as a marketing move.
And we didn't want to reward them either.
I know.
We wanted them to. We thought, oh yeah,
I want to reward everybody. I'm down for. Let's mass chaos. Let's just everybody.
Let's
just
encourage
Portland.
them all.
Let's all just Portland.
Everybody. Sometimes people just want to watch the world burn. There you go.
That's a good line.
That's a great movie. Gosh, that's such a good movie. So much better than anything Zack Snyder
That
will
would
ever
have Ben
do.
Affleck said it.
Well, it would be Jeremy Irons because it was Alfred that said the line. So
That's true.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
did you see
And he
Jeremy
would have
Irons?
butchered it.
That's right.
Sometimes people just want to watch the world burn.
It would have been bad. Alrighty, guys. We're not on board with review bombing Godzilla.
Bomb,
v.
bomb, bomb,
Kong.
bomb, bomb, bomb.
You can't say bomb on a plane. Okay.
That was a good movie too.
What if I'm a bombardier?
Oh.
Yes, that is a good movie.
was a good one.
Not the sequels. But you know what? Hashtag
You didn't like Little
restore
Fockers?
Meet the Parents. Bring it back. I want to see a remake.
Yep.
I want to see it done.
Hashtag restore the Fockers.
Alrighty, guys. That's going to be it for our headlines this week. Don't restore the Snyderverse. I'm just going to say it there. I know so many people will hate us for
I think
that.
it's going to happen.
I'm sorry.
I think it's going to happen.
I hope it doesn't.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't think it was going to happen the first time, and I was wrong. So maybe if I think it's going to happen this time, I'll still be wrong.
You know what will happen, though? It's inevitable. Our relationship segment is coming up right now.
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above.
And a thing called love. I just like that part. Sing it.
Mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I just wanted to ruin the moment.
You always play that one on this week.
Because it's
You always ruin the moment.
Exactly, because I think, what's the opposite of a happy relationship? I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Yep.
Well,
Divorce.
You should write that on IMDb.
Well, that's why that's the way I feel about our last two topics. Okay, I'm as mad as hell. And I'm not going to take it anymore. Damn right.
So what's our relationships?
Oh, she just jumped up in your lap.
She bumped her
didn't
head is what she did.
Good.
Because I didn't let her get up here.
Well, she
Said,
needs
"No,
she
no,
needs some
no."
learning. Alrighty, we're going to talk about our unique weekly segment.
Is it unique?
Do you mind your business or others?
I think everybody's guilty. I'm not saying all the time, but anybody who said that they've never put their nose where it didn't belong at least once is lying.
That's right.
Well,
Now,
of
whether you
course.
learn your lesson from that one time or not, you know.
What if you don't?
Well, then you have some people
And
just
should you?
they live to be nosy. I try not to. I'm not saying I never have. I know I have, but I've definitely learned plenty of lessons about it. And for the most part, the older I get, the less I care. I'm like, as long as I'm good, it's like. I mean, obviously, like when you have people you care about, friends, family,
Yeah.
you want to
Yes.
try to help,
Yeah.
and sometimes you worry. So sometimes you might butt in a little too much because you are worried about
It just
them.
depends on your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your
So
closest?
it's
in your
not
circle?
I'm never going to care. Like I'm definitely going to be invested in those I care most about. But outside of that, like like work situations where people gossip or do whatever, I don't get into that because I'm like, I'm just here to do my job.
That's
go
how you
home.
get fired.
Yeah,
Yep, that's true.
It's like I don't care what you have going on with Susie down the hall.
Susie Q.
I just
Mm-hmm.
I'm
a
going to do
great
my
movie.
job and go
Underrated.
home.
I feel
Disney Channel
Keith
classic.
right now because that's how it is at our work. Men are outnumbered 10-1, that maybe 20-1 at our
It's not just
place
I mean,
of business. And
Anywhere
it's just
I've
like
worked, anywhere I've
there's a
worked.
lot of gossip.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chit chat.
Now wait a second. Is that not part of the workday?
I think so.
It's like water cooler talk. You know, you got to have something to talk about. So
Yeah.
why not talk about other coworkers? Yeah. I mean, to an extent, wouldn't you say that
It's
kind of
like,
helps pass the time?
I heard Debbie and Harold last
heard
night
Debbie
went out
does
and
Dallas.
did some things.
See, here's
with
the
some
problem.
chickens.
You're
and some
describing those
cues.
terrible like HR videos of
Yeah.
this is what not to do.
It happens, man.
It's like, man, did you see Debbie?
Yeah.
Look at that skirt.
You watch some terrible HR videos and you're like, it's like this is hokey and fake,
Yes.
and then you hear someone actually
like
talking about it at work, and you're just like,
1989.
I swear, you'll hear somebody
my
say
favorite
it, and
is
just be
when
like, okay.
you hear them say it, and then within like obvious earshot of the person, and you see Debbie just go, Like,
What's wrong
how
with my
terrible.
It happens. It's true.
Because honestly, if Debbie said, "Hey, have you seen Jack and his big schlong?" he would look over and be like, "Yeah, oh yeah." They don't ever do that.
That's true.
No.
That would what would happen in real life. And then there would be a harassment charge on Harold,
Hey,
even though he was
you
not the one
know-
that started.
Her ass is in harassment.
That's true. It's true.
Don't you harass me?
Oh no. We're gonna get this explicit real
all right,
fast.
all right.
If you have never seen the Jungle Book parody,
Oh,
look it
you
up.
gotta look,
God.
Look it up.
Woo, YouTube of old. Woo.
Oh, so
Alrighty,
great.
let's get back on topic. So, do you mind your
I can't even.
business?
That's like the tamest quote from that. I was thinking of other things I could quote from the Jungle Book parody. I'm like, I can't. That's the tamest one. The worst. The worst.
Oh,
There's
there's
terrible.
Yeah, I was about to.
I was trying to think of some, and all of them are way worse
No.
than that. That was
Yeah.
the tamest one.
Don't go
Better
there.
than beginner.
Yeah,
that's
that.
about another
Yeah.
one. But okay, no. So look, are we all in agreement that it's probably best to just mind your own business?
Well, I'd say almost everyone would universally say that, even if they don't
Well,
themselves
that's
do
the
that.
question. Do you apply it?
I apply it.
I try.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like other people's business is my business. If it affects me in any way, then it's my business.
Okay.
But I mean, to a certain extent.
But how do you know what if it's private and it just somehow you happen to hear it, but it's about you?
Oh no, that's not affecting me.
But what if it's about you?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
if
if it's
like,
about
you
me?
overhear somebody saying something
something.
about. Well,
then
that,
am I
that,
really
that affects you.
that's not me minding
Yeah, but
my
what?
business.
Like, okay, what if it's like, for instance,
You're not ear hustling. Just say like.
It's
some-
like if you
some-
were just like, Sean's an asshole, and then you looked at me and were like, I'm sorry, you weren't supposed to hear that. that's not minding my own business. Or that's not me
You were minding your own
not
business.
minding my own business. I was just sitting here and I heard you say
Yeah,
it. Like,
exactly. But then it's
So-
like he's not nosing in. It's like I'm right next to him.
That's when you pull a Debbie.
That's when you're like, what the hell, man?
How dare he?
slow.
It's like, sorry, Sean. Sorry. Next time I say bad things about you, I'll be a little bit further away.
I'll turn my back.
I'll wait for you to turn your back. That's how you get the knife in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the truth.
Oh.
I don't know. I think everybody would agree though that they mind their own business, but I think we would all disagree with how much other people mind their own business.
That's true.
I
You
think-
know,
yeah,
we would
None
all
of
sit
us
there,
feel
yeah.
like we're the one that's meddling.
Yeah, exactly. But we all do it, and
Yeah.
I would definitely agree. It's like it just depends. I mean, it's like depends on who. I mean, I definitely would agree. Like in your closest circle, like if I heard somebody say something bad about me at work, I mean, maybe if it was about my work performance, I'd be a
Yeah.
little upset because
would
then
tick
I'd be
me
like,
off.
oh, that's about like what I do here.
See, no one
if
knows
it's
me
about me
outside of work,
personally,
so yeah,
then
I
it's like
wouldn't
I
care.
don't give a crap because I don't really care about you. It's like
Yeah.
I come here to earn a paycheck. That's what I care about. But if it's like, if it's in terms of like my integrity or that they're knocking, well then I'm gonna be
Yeah.
concerned.
It's like, look at Brandon. He's a real dumbass.
I mean that's every day.
It's like, how'd he make
But
it?
he
on
sure is
ITV?
good at his job. And you're like, I'm fine with
I'm
that.
like, okay,
Idiot
cool.
savant.
Yeah. That's why I still don't get a rival. But
That's good.
But no, I don't. I like to think that. To me, it's something you have to practice. It's like something you have to keep you have to be intentional about, because there are things that I think you could easily go and find out about yourself, or you could meddle in other people's business. And there's definitely times where I've talked to people just to kind of have the water cooler talk, start up a conversation.
Oh, so you like to get all the juicy gossip.
Well, no, but I will say there are people who lay the breadcrumbs and they want you to
They
walk
want
that
you to-
line.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Because they want to talk all about it. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm not going to go down that road. I'll go enough down it to give you interest of like, okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to ask you for more because I'm not going to sit here and let you think that I'm on your side.
This is a good one, actually.
What?
But our good buddy Aaron Boyd.
Hey,
said,
Aaron.
What about not just overhearing something, but social media, which is true? Because how many times, like,
Oh, no
I will
doubt.
say, how many times you see something on social media where, like, okay, I'll do, like, I have family members that, you know them, Brandon. I won't name any particular niece
Don't
nephew.
accuse me.
I won't name any particular niece or nephew, but a few of them, or brother who might get into social media beefs with people, and then you're just like,
Yes.
I have to see where this goes. And then you're jumping back and forth between, and it's like you're not really minding your own business then, but it's entertaining.
Now,
to
here's
watch
the thing.
back
Here's
and
the
forth.
thing. But that's
they're
public.
putting it out there.
That's true.
They're
Yeah.
putting it out there in public. Now, is
That's
it worth
different.
my time? Is it toxic? Yes, it is toxic. I don't think it's productive.
Now, if you're not, it's
but
not
if
productive.
if it's absolute, like there's times
if you're not throwing
where,
yourself, like if you get in there and start commenting and adding to it, then it's kind of like you're not minding your own
Okay,
business.
actually,
but reading it, it's like
I'm
it's
glad,
like you said.
I'm very glad Aaron brought this up because
Yeah.
this takes me to, and granted, I was kind of in agreement with this post, but also not. I'm seeing this very popular thing now, and it's almost, I would equate it to doxing, which I'm not okay with, but it's like you'll see somebody who posts on these big threads, like the I Am a Dixie Highway member, like it's
Okay.
all thousands of people on Dixie Highway.
Right.
And they will post pictures of this person,
Oh,
you know, did this, and he, you know, and it, like honestly, this is pretty serious. I saw one yesterday where they were like, "This guy's a piece of trash.
Yep.
He was beating the woman in his car, and I
I
jumped
didn't
out
call
of the
the police,
car."
I just
no,
posted
she
social
said she
media.
did. She said
Okay,
the
okay.
police
Yeah.
did not answer the call or would not come out there. And the woman, after she intervened, got out of the car and escaped.
The police were like, mind your own business.
Yeah. But that's the thing. And it's like, okay, there's this domestic dispute.
Right. Yeah.
And part of me is like, okay, how much of this is you putting this on here to be like, oh, good for you,
Yes.
pat on the back?
Yep.
Yes.
And how much of this is really, okay, we want to
how
solve
much
the
of it
problem of
actually
this?
happened or is
True.
solving the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I went as far as to believe that it was fake, but I will say, like, my first thought is I see this guy's photo. If he was beating a woman, he is a piece of human refuse.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, okay, there is a police. If they didn't do anything, you know, I can't really knock her for if she called them and they didn't show up. And then at the same time, but then again, it's like, okay, well, what happens if maybe down the road the police do intervene? They see the post and then they're like, okay, now we have to act, which is wrong. They should have showed up in the first place.
Right.
But what happens if they do take care of the issue? He does go to jail, but then all of a sudden now his picture's out there. Somebody sees this 2-3 years down the road. It just pops up because randomly somebody comments on it. Now it shows back up in a popular feed.
Yeah.
And now this guy is like the whole point of this is like, at what point does it become social media just out there to completely villainize somebody indefinitely?
Right.
You know, and
happens,
it
yeah.
does. It becomes a tool
Or
for
even just
harm.
Like, nothing that drastic, but I've seen people like just minding their own business that looks sketchy, and someone will post, it's like, this person, I saw this person doing this and this and walking around.
watch
and it's like,
out.
And it's like, maybe he just is walking around the neighborhood.
Be on the lookout in your neighborhood
Yeah.
for this person.
And it's like,
it's just like, damn, you
Yeah.
can't be walking around anywhere. It's
yeah,
like,
it's like,
You're just trying to come up with a justification for that picture of you in front of the elementary school.
yeah.
look,
yeah.
I walk around.
Like, look, I was just
Aaron did-
walking
in my
to the
pajama
ice cream
pants.
store.
Aaron did bring another good point, though. She said sometimes people will post stuff on Facebook, and when you comment on it, they'll be like, you need to mind your own business. It's like, well, then why did you
Why
post
did you
it on
post it?
Facebook?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
there was a dude
Because
who
they,
commented.
want the attention.
Of course, I read the comment thread. I couldn't help.
That's
when I
what I'm
saw
saying.
it.
You
So
gotta
I
go
read
down
and
that
there-
ra- you
there
gotta go-
literally,
you
there
gotta go
was a
down the rabbit
dude.
hole.
There was a dude who he did. That's all he put. He said, just mind your business. And then a bunch of comments from all these people
All
were
that.
like, they were just like, how dare you? You would let her get beat? Oh my gosh, you're a piece of trash. And then another woman,
Yeah.
she started commenting and taking pictures of his Facebook page and
Oh my
said,
God.
you're a piece of trash. Look
Yeah.
at what he posts.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is this,
People do
man?
that
Yeah.
too.
What is
I've
this?
seen it on the movie talk group. People
Yeah.
start getting mad at each other. Then they'll pull pictures from each other's Facebook. It's like, that's why you look like a joke with this, and that's why I'm like, and they'll be making fun of me, and I'm like,
So
No, like
man.
years ago, somebody did that to me when I was working at the church. Like I posted something political,
yeah,
and
Yes.
it
Oh,
wasn't.
politics
It
now.
wasn't anything. It was just me agreeing with, a certain
podcaster.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it, but anyway, it was that, and it was just like somebody wrote back and commented and was like, "And you're a youth minister at a church?"
Yep.
And I'm just like, "How the heck do you know that?" And then I'm like, "They would have had to have freaking stalked my Facebook
Yeah.
page, and said that, and why can't a youth minister be conservative? I mean,
Yeah.
most of them are.
You would hope, yeah.
And I'm just like, what? I mean, but the fact that she did that, and immediately I was just like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I deleted
Well,
my
and
comment. I
immediate-
pulled off that
they-
conversation. I
because
was just
the
like, I'm
whole
not gonna have
point-
somebody stalking my Facebook
And
page.
that's the whole point
I
of this
thought you could just
cancel
get on
culture.
there and speak your mind and not have to worry about that. With the moment somebody
No, you can't.
brought
Because
me
the
and my family
moment-
into it, I was like, ooh.
Again, it
nope.
becomes
So
the
you gotta
bully
make
pulpit.
everything private to
It
everyone.
becomes
Yeah.
it becomes the bully pulpit, and that's exactly. It's like no longer can you get on there and be a because it used to be. I would love honestly, I would love to crack jokes on people who would post the most stupidest, ridiculous status updates, and I'd be like, nobody cares.
Yep.
The problem is now too many people care.
Yeah.
And too many people care about, it's like I literally I'm not a congressperson. I can't make laws. So my political opinion is just that. It's an opinion, just like you.
Yeah.
Just like what's the old phrase? Opinions are just like assholes. Everybody's
Everybody's
got
got
one.
one.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting
Some
here.
are bigger than others, though.
Well, of course. And some people might agree that ours on this show is sometimes.
And some of them stink.
That's
and somebody
right.
might
Some of 'em
agree
stink.
that hey, Jack's is bigger than Debbie's, but I was tying that.
But
into
Jack
the
smell
first
like
part.
roses and Debbie's.
You need to go to HR training, okay? I'm just saying. But
I
no,
didn't say what it smelled like.
I'm just seeing that HR training video now of them standing by the water cooler going, Becky's shit stinks. And it's like, doesn't everybody's? Like, it's crap. It stinks.
It's like,
How's
like,
that?
But why does she go to that bathroom
Why?
right by the water cooler?
She don't wipe
She could
good
go
enough.
downstairs easily.
Oh, man.
Hey, we've talked about it on the show. Everybody's got
Those
that
water
one bathroom
cooler conversations.
that you could go to. Okay,
Not us at our work.
I know you don't. You all
we
are
sit
trapped.
next to each other half the time. Me
Yeah,
and Keith are both
yeah.
in there going.
We'll be in there talking to each other in the stalls.
It's like the only thing we haven't done is low-fived each other under the stalls.
Walk in.
like-
I don't know. We must
I
just
see
have
his
the same.
shoes, and I'm like, hey, bud.
We just have the same
How's it
poop,
going in
poop
there?
schedule. Apparently,
One day somebody's going to sit down with the same freaking shoes on. I'm going to start talking to some stranger.
What are you talking about, man?
Like, see you tonight on the show.
That's why.
No,
you
and
need
then the
that
next thing you
special
know,
knock.
you're going to have a year anniversary of your HR training video, and that very scene is going to be in there. Don't talk to your coworkers while they're in the stall.
I mean,
There's a wall there for a reason. Oh,
But no,
God.
I honestly, it is toxic. It's a sad, sad day in this world
it
where.
does get toxic when we're both
Yep.
in there.
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah.
course it does. Especially you. I know right before this show.
It
Okay.
was bad. Yeah,
Which, granted, I do have another bathroom.
yeah.
You could have used that one.
You were in
just
it.
saying.
We started at the same time.
Well, that's true.
I
I
just-
just
oh,
ended
wow.
way before.
Yeah.
But no, to bring this conversation to an end, yes, like Aaron did, write in. Let us know. What are your thoughts on opinions? Do you mind your own business? Sometimes in this world of social media, we all should, especially when it becomes toxic in the way that it does. Or, Sean, you're chuckling over there.
No.
Nah.
Reading any more comments?
No, I'm minding my own business.
Yeah. you just keep going with the show, man.
Hey, we're having a public forum here on the show. It's my job to interact with our audience members.
You're doing a good job.
Well, I'm
everybody's commented.
BS. I didn't have a good comeback for that. But no, please
We
write
just
us.
like stalled there for a second. It's like the show went nowhere.
It'd be funny if
BS.
I was just like,
I'm out.
That's it.
I'm leaving.
It's the end of the show.
I'm out of here.
We just all walk off and leave.
Audi 5000, the Catalina wine mixer. Did he say pow?
Pow!
Pow!
All right, let's
All
go.
right, we be done. We be done with this topic.
Yep.
Mind your own business.
Done.
Mind your own business.
Thank you all for not minding your own business and for commenting and
Yeah.
making this worthwhile.
Well, again, that's what we are on here for. When we offer the opportunity to speak your mind, we want it. We want to hear your opinions.
Yep.
And most people on Facebook think that their opinions matter. That's the problem. They give too much weight to their own opinions.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is way too many people walk around acting like we actually care what they think.
People get on Facebook and they think they're Meryl Streep at the Golden Globes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about right.
Yeah.
And I would agree. It's like, hey, look, I'm all for everybody having the right to say what they want.
Yeah.
But don't sit there and think that somehow because you said it, it holds more weight than somebody else. That's pretty bad. And I think we all learned that golden rule in like first grade. If you didn't, you just learned it here on the Red Moon Podcast. So tune in every single week. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon because we need help. We need your all's help. We want you all to comment, like, share, subscribe. like I've already said. Y'all are man, they're typing away. They're getting comments in right now.
Hashtag opinions matter.
You can also email us at rmpodcast@redmoonproductions.com, but all of our social links are right there at the bottom of the screen. Red Moon Book, Red Moon Picks, Red Moon Tweet, and Red Moon Productions on YouTube. Just search for it. And, of course, we are live every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We appreciate all of you all tuning in and commenting and giving us some love. So thank you all so much every single week. We appreciate it. And keep tuning in. We've got some things down the road that are coming, more than just this show. So don't mind your business. Our business? I don't know. Enjoy what we put out there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Red Moon Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
Sean Sebastian.
And
Springdale Egg Hatch Salute a Day, Groping Fairy Butter Talon Toad Bears.
did you say grope?
Groping.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. For more reviews, previous podcast shows, and everything Red Moon, visit our website, redmoonproductions.com. You can also like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for Red Moon Productions, LLC. We'll see you at the movies.